Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to address you today, albeit from a distance. I very much regret that I'm unable to join you in person to benefit directly from your discussions on a number of issues around remittances, investment, and development in the Asia-Pacific region of such importance to our better collective understanding of the migration phenomenon. As you know, the positive aspects of migration are unfortunately often obscured in a current climate where a negative, if not actually actively hostile narrative, often dominates public discourse. In a context where migrants are portrayed as competitors for jobs, benefits, and scarce resources, or as threats to social cohesion and public security, the need is stronger than ever for determined leadership across all stakeholders to steer the public discourse towards credible facts and evidence and away from xenophobia and discrimination. Migrants are needed in virtually all job markets. They bring skills and they help economies flourish. Although migrants represent just slightly over 3% of the global population, they contributed 9% of global GDP in 2015. And the overwhelming majority of this contribution, actually some 90%, is captured by developed economies. Asia-Pacific hosts almost 1/4 of all international migrants, the majority of whom move within their region of origin. Along with migration on the global level, this phenomenon of intra-regional migration is bound to grow as emerging economies create new opportunities and as demographic disparities, environmental challenges, and changes to our labor markets create new dynamics that we need to address. Despite the huge economic benefits of migration, millions of migrants find themselves in an irregular situation and are driven into gray zones of economic activity that expose them to vulnerabilities and abuse. Such situations must not be normalized and cannot be allowed to represent the way forward. The benefits of migration for all, migrants, of course, but also the people they leave behind and the communities hosting them, will be hard to maximize without a constructive approach towards managing this phenomenon. I believe that increasing legal pathways by which migrants can access the labor market and this will contribute to reducing irregular and often dangerous migratory routes while enabling states to better manage migrant populations. More importantly than ever, regional cooperation, including through bilateral and multilateral agreements, should be strengthened to better manage migration and better protect migrants and also better harness all the benefits of migration. Multi-stakeholders must be encouraged to work together with a variety of state actors to identify innovative strategies to facilitate safe, orderly, and regular migration and to better harvest all its benefits. I'm very pleased to find so many private sector representatives participating in this forum to share good practices, particularly on reducing the cost of remittances and in facilitating financial inclusion. As you know, UN member states have pledged in the Sustainable Development Goals to reduce by 2030 the cost of transfer from an average of 7% to less than 3%, and to eliminate remittance corridors with costs higher than 5%. The impact in this region will be very significant if these targets are to be attained. Migration is a global issue. The Global Compact for Migration will be the first intergovernmentally negotiated agreement to cover in a non-legally binding way most aspects of international migration in a comprehensive manner. It aims to maximize the benefits of migration for all, while addressing some of the most challenging economic and humanitarian aspects of modern human mobility. Although most migrants travel today in a safe and orderly fashion, millions face varying degrees of vulnerability, some extreme, at all stages of their journey, both at home, in transit, and in their eventual destination. The Global Compact must remain people-centered and ensure that international cooperation enhances the protection and assistance accorded to the most vulnerable, consistent with international human rights law and our collective aspiration expressed in the SDGs to reduce inequalities within and between countries. We're still in the early stages of understanding and managing all aspects of human mobility. Much more will need to be done even after the Global Compact is in place, before we have a fully mature system of international migration management. But I'm greatly encouraged by the high level of engagement in the Asia-Pacific region. I hope that your positive spirit and commitment will continue to thrive, and I wish you a very successful conference. Thank you.